Hey there, Muses. This is Kay with HerMuse and Felicia.
Hi, guys.
We are actually in the heart of Ybor City at Tre Amici at the Bunker, which is an espresso and wine bar, one of the most historical places here in Tampa. And we are actually sitting with a little bit of a historical legend ourselves, Ms. Susan Cuesta.
Hi, how are you?
Great. She is a freelance production professional and the copy editor for Cigar City magazine. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and your hometown, and you live here in Tampa.
Well, I live right now in Hampton Terrace, which is a little bit east of the main part of Seminole Heights. I was born and raised in West Tampa. My parents were born and raised in Ybor City. So we have a long history in this town. Our ancestors, grandparents, and great-grandparents came here following the cigar trade from Spain. Some directly to Tampa, others Spain, Cuba, Key West, and Tampa.
Wow, so a very long.
So we're all intertwined with Ybor, yes. Yes.
So tell us about your family. Do you have any pets?
I do, actually. I have 2 dogs, my little babies, Howie and Maya.
By the way.
They are not little, they're big, but they're similar to me. Like I said, my parents were born and raised here. My parents still live here. I have one sister here in Tampa who is married and just had my very first nephew.
Ooh,
thank you very much. And my other sister is out in LA. She is a hairstylist, and she's a bit of a production professional herself. She does hair, makeup for shoots, and she's in fashion. So
very interesting.
Yeah.
Weren't we just celebrating Tampa Fashion Week the other day?
We were. And she actually got to go to New York Fashion Week.
Wow, that's very incredible.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're talking a little bit about your profession and the production line. How did you get into it, and what is so special about it for you?
I started actually in college. I was kind of undecided between communication and art. Decided on getting into communication because I kind of got pulled that way because I started doing animation in college. Once I got kind of in the business, though, I ended up getting pulled a little bit more towards the management side. The last 16 years, I was at a company where I was the studio manager, so I was doing a little bit of everything. I was doing the books, a little bit of producing, a little bit of writing, a little bit of just whatever had to be done, client services, account management, everything, which was a great learning experience.
Which is an art form. All of it.
Yeah. So organization was very key for me, and I really like that, actually. It's kind of strange to say that, but I really like order, so that seems to suit me a little bit.
So what is, I'm sure you love what you do as far as production. Is that one of your passions? And
I do love it. I love the creative part of it. I mean, the administrative part is just, it's administrative. Exactly. What I love is the creative part, being able to collaborate with clients to do the project, and actually just putting it together, doing the casting and all that stuff where you kind of like flesh out the whole production. My personal thing is probably more geared towards art. I was always, drawing and painting. As I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten into photography a little bit. When I travel, I love to take pictures. So I have hundreds and hundreds. Every time I go.
Better cameras than we have.
Not really a fancy one, but you learn to work with what you have. It's just all about just doing what you have. What you have. So that's one of the things that I really like. Anything that allows me to be creative in any sort of way is really a passion for me.
And so how do you like working at one of the most influential magazines here in Tampa, Cigar City magazine?
I love working with Cigar City. I mean, that's pretty much a labor of love. And again, it's all tied into the family thing. My cousin Lisa is the publisher, and this is how I got kind of pulled into it. She was in desperate need of some help with the copy, and so she was leaning on me a little bit for that. And at first I was like, I don't know if I want another thing on my plate, but I really do love it. We're all in our family very passionate about our history relating to Tampa. My dad has been a coach here for nearly 40 years, and he's well known in the area. So we have that going on for us, and it's one of those things like like I can walk down 7th Avenue and my grandmother has a stone on the pavement.
Oh my gosh.
So we've been here a long time, and we feel very passionate, and the history of the city is important. I mean, you don't see that a lot in big cities, but in town here, it kind of tends to get put to the side because it's a little bit newer. And I think one of the things I've learned from traveling is just to really appreciate what you have as far as beautiful old buildings and the history of a place. And it's really great that we have the Tampa Bay History Center now that's kind of like putting that in the forefront for a lot of people who maybe moved here and don't really know the background of the area.
Right, absolutely. So we are rolling into our fourth quarter series, which is all about passion. We're talking about passion a lot within this interview. And what we found that a lot of the muses have a very integral part of their lives, family is a very integral part of their lives and of their passion. So I'm guessing, is that a very integral part of why you're so passionate about certain things?
I would say so. I mean, you know, I've got the whole Latin passionate thing going on. Anything that I tend to get into, I tend to get into really passionately. You know, my dad is a sports guy, and so we always have had that in the family. Family of girls, but we've always been very much into sports. So we're into, you know, racing, you know, so we're all about that in our family. And, you know, my poor little nephew, if he doesn't like sports, he's going to be in big trouble. We've been waiting for a boy to spoil, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's really, I think, a lot of where it comes from. My dad has been really dedicated to what he's done, and my mom has been very dedicated in, you know, kind of instilling that in all of us to go for what we wanted. And so that's a good thing.
Right. So, we're having so much fun doing this interview. So, tell us a little bit about what makes you so unique as an individual.
What makes me unique? It's hard to say. I mean, I think I'm pretty normal, but I guess I'm a little bit quirky. A lot of people don't get the whole sports thing and the girl thing, but, you know, to me it's just so natural. So, I mean,
You're such a girly girl.
and I am a girly girl, and I love my shoes and my bags, but, you know, but then I love to get dirty and go out and play. I played beach volleyball and have played softball in the past, so, you know, it's kind of the dichotomy of things, you know, it's like I could be a girly girl, and then I love to go out and play sports, I love to go out and watch sports, and it's, I don't know, I mean, I guess that's probably the most odd thing about me. I think people, like, they meet me on one side, they don't expect that.
Right.
So
but it's a good balance, too.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got your professionalism, you've got your family, you've got the girly girl part, and you've got the very interesting and kind of unique part about you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I like to build, and I've done a lot of work on my house too. That's a whole other issue too, but that's part of the whole getting dirty thing. But I really like to learn new things, so learning how to do stuff at the house, you know, on my own was really important to me. So, again, that's kind of unusual. I mean, most people have to hire out.
Yeah.
Do you ever find a challenge of balancing professional and personal life?
Certainly. I mean, in my business, we find that clients really don't pay attention to clocks, especially when you're dealing with clients that are in different time zones, you know, and especially now that everybody's got some sort of PDA or BlackBerry or phone where they can get email and text all the time. So people just expect you to be on call 24/7. And, you know, I could be walking out the door and somebody will be like, oh, wait, there's just one more thing, or, you know. So that's a big thing, and learning to say no sometimes, or at least set limits to what you're willing to do. And I will admit that that's probably a problem for me. I mean, I think a lot of my clients really like me because I tend to kind of just do it, you know, and I jump on things really quickly, which is great. But sometimes I kind of put myself back, and that's a challenge, is trying to learn to balance that.
And bring that importance of yourself back out to the forefront, that, you know, set those limits for yourself too.
Yep.
So, changing gears just a little bit, what's your biggest fear?
Ooh, biggest fear. Well, it's not really anything weird like spiders or anything like that. I mean, people kind of like spiders. Really, it's more security. You know, being single, I don't really have anyone to rely on. You know, the economy's kind of crazy, and that's probably the thing that I'm concerned about the most right now. It's just, you know, making sure that I take care of me and keep things tight.
Right.
Yeah.
You meant balance. So, here's a quirky little question we've got for you. We asked all of our muses, and we got a lot of different answers for it too. So, what color are your toenails?
They're blue.
Chanel blue. Chanel blue. You're one of the only people who actually have known their nail color.
I only know because it's the only Chanel I own.
Chanel blue fan.
But I love that color, so.
I usually just like the prime colors, like black, green. It isn't even a prime color, but it's a variation.
That's classic, though.
But it's a classic color.
Yeah.
Well, we have had an incredible time here, and we thank you, everyone. Miss Susan Cuesta, she is our Muse of the Month for October. Stay tuned for our tweet chat on October 7th at 7 p.m. Use the hashtag HMChat, and we're going to be discussing how we stay passionate, how we keep the fire lit in our lives and professional lives. And on November 4th, we are going to be hosting a holiday social, and we are so excited about that. Stay tuned. See you guys later.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.